Good afternoon. My name is Vincent Jordan, and this assignment is for EDOL 722, The Danger of a Single Story. What I'm going to talk about today is how growing up as a child, I internalized the single stories that were told to me via the news, whether it be on the television or newspapers, and also told to me by the people around me, and how that internalization sort of limits the scope of what possibilities were in my future. Let me begin with some facts. I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Uh, I was born and raised by a single mother. She had me at the age of 15. And to support herself, she was on public assistance, and I remained on public assistance until I was 17 years old. With that, we moved around quite a bit. In fact, so often that I can't even remember the number of times. Throughout my life, I attended 9 different public schools. I attended 3 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 3 high schools before graduating high school at 17. Surprisingly, everything seemed normal to me. I didn't really know I was poor. I ate every day. I had a place to sleep, and moving around just seemed to some degree normal. I didn't really think about it too much. However, it wasn't until I was 18 years old, I was stationed at the Marine Barracks in Washington, D.C., and for the first time, I realized that I had internalized the single story that had been told to me throughout my life because I was offered the opportunity to attend the Naval Academy, not the Naval Academy, the Naval Preparatory School in Rhode Island. And before the person could actually get the question out of their mouth, I had shut it down because it's like no one with my background did things like that. They don't go to the Naval Preparatory School. Now, in reality, what was happening was I was being introduced to a new story, a story that had never been told before, that someone could see someone like me going down that path. A couple years after that, I was offered the opportunity again, but this time to participate in what's called the Marine Commissioning Program, in which the Marine Corps sends you off to a 4-year institution to earn a bachelor's degree and eventually become a Marine Corps officer. I again turned it down, afraid of taking on a challenge, but more importantly, limiting the possibility because of the single story I had been told for the majority of my life. It was not until I took the leap a year or two later and taking on my first college class that I realized that I had a potential, despite the fact that on several occasions prior to that, someone had introduced the idea that I could actually do college coursework and be successful at it. So the point of the story is that when we hear about children growing up in the inner city, African American children that is growing up in the inner city, single parents, on public assistance, sometimes they mentally can be limited in what they become if they can't overcome the single stories that are told to them by the people that surround them. And in my case, some 30 years later, I'm proving that you can overcome those things. So that's my single story. Thank you.